Yo, what is up, YouTube? This is Sports Freak Guys here, and I am really excited because the NBA a few days ago finally passed their CBA agreement, and now we can finally get back to basketball. Now, that CBA agreement that was tentative last weekend ended the 149-day lockout. Now, as the players rejoined their union, and now they've actually signed the deal, so now players are back in their gyms. Training camps will begin on December 9th, and the season is going to begin with a triple header on national TV on Christmas Day. Now, who could write a better ending to such a story that has been really devastating to a lot of NBA fans and anybody associated with the organization? So today I'm going to be talking about the specifics of this new deal and the reason why it is very good in terms of fans, why they don't have to worry about this happening for a while to come. So basically, here are some of the things about this deal. So first, one of the big things was how they were going to split revenue. So with this new deal, the players are going to be able to receive between 49% and 51% of the basketball-related income based on revenue projections. Next, they're talking about contract lengths. So the maximum contract length is going to be 5 years for Larry Bird players and then 4 years for non-Larry Bird players. And then for rookies, a player finishing his rookie scale contract will now be eligible to receive maximum salary equal to 30% of the salary cap if he signs with his team prior and meets certain performance benchmarks. So now salary was also another big thing in this new deal. So now here's the deal on the salary. The annual salary has now increased 7.5% for Bird players and 4.5% for the other guys. But there are a few exceptions to this rule. They have a mid-level exception, up to $5 million starting salary with a 4-year maximum contract length for teams that don't exceed the luxury tax threshold by more than $4 million. And then there is a new $2.5 million exception for teams below the salary cap to go over the cap. There is no change in rookie scale or minimum salaries. Player options are allowed for all players now, similar to the previous collective bargaining agreement, so that has not changed either. Now, extended trade contracts will also be continued as permitted. The escrow pool, 10% of player salaries will now be held each year. Teams now have 3 days to match offer sheets given to their own restricted free agents. Now, the other thing that hit ESPN when this new tentative agreement came up was the salary amount with the cap and stuff. So now under the new regulations, the minimum team salary increases to 85% of the salary cap in the first 2 years. And then after that, it goes up to 90% for every single year after those 2 years are over. It's like, dang, you have to use a whole bunch of your income just on your players. Well, you can't even use them on the rest of your staff. That's crazy. And then finally, each team has one amnesty clause to use on player currently under contract. The player salary will then be removed from the team's cap. So those are basically the specifications to the new CBA on the NBA lockout, which ended because of that agreement. So basically this agreement was set for 10 years and each side can opt out only after 6. So that means that for the next 6 seasons, we don't have to worry about any of this stuff happening again. So good news for any NBA basketball fans and for any team that is really low on cash. Basically, some of the new stuff on this deal is supposed to help them have more money to pay for players and get to the playoffs. Because you see Lakers and the Spurs and the Mavericks in the West and then the Celtics and the Magic and stuff in the East, they always get to the NBA playoffs. But what about teams like the Kings or the Bucks or the Clippers or some other teams like that don't get to the playoffs really that often? Now, the salary cap, as you heard, does not change. However, the luxury tax is now much more fierce. And they're hoping that by not raising the salary cap, but yet coming down hard on luxury tax, the NBA is hoping that that will save teams money to therefore go in and buy free agents to help them make the playoffs. For example, the Sacramento Kings, when this deal got done, they had $16 million that they had to spend, but they had to spend it on NBA players and NBA players only. So they could spend it on free agents and all other types of players that they could use that could really help them with their team to try to get them to the playoffs. So yeah, that's basically the NBA's new CBA agreement. And so I will post this on my website at yoursportsblogstop.weebly.com. I will post it on YouTube, and I will post it on my Facebook page. So for now, this is Sports Freak Guys from YouTube signing out, and good night.